In the heart of the whispering woods, where silver mist curled around ancient oaks and the moon painted the forest floor in pale light, lived a young fox named Ember. His fur was the color of autumn fire, and his eyes held a quiet sorrow that no fox so young should carry. Ember was alone. He had been separated from his family during a terrible storm when he was only a kit. The wind had howled like a wounded wolf. The river had risen like a serpent uncoiling, and in the chaos, Ember had tumbled down a muddy bank and been swept away. When he awoke, the world was silent, drenched, and empty. No scent of his mother's warm fur, no playful nips from his siblings, only the cold comfort of solitude. For moons, Ember wandered. He learned to hunt mice beneath frost-covered grass, to slip silently past the watchful eyes of owls, and to curl into hollow logs when the winter winds bit too deep. He spoke to no one. The other foxes kept their distance. His loneliness seemed to hang around him like a shadow, and the forest whispered that he was the storm-born, a creature touched by misfortune. But deep in his heart, Ember carried a single memory, the sound of his mother's voice, soft as falling leaves, singing a lullaby beneath the stars. He remembered the warmth of his siblings pressed against him, tails entwined, and the way the den smelled of earth and safety. That memory was his compass. One crisp morning, as frost glittered like scattered diamonds, Ember found a trail he hadn't seen before. 3 small paw prints pressed into the mud, leading toward the high ridge beyond the pines. His breath caught. They were fresh, and they were fox prints, small like kits. His heart hammered. Could it be? He followed the trail, his nose to the ground, his body trembling with hope and fear. The path wound through thorn thickets, across frozen streams, and up steep, rocky slopes. He met a wise old badger who warned him of the shadow pass where few return. He met a raven who croaked, "Why chase ghosts, little flame?" But Ember pressed on. At last, on the edge of a high meadow dusted with snow, he saw them. A vixen stood at the mouth of a sunlit den, her red fur streaked with silver, her eyes scanning the horizon. 2 young foxes tumbled in the snow, their playful yips echoing through the still air. Ember froze. Then the vixen turned, her eyes locked onto his. Time seemed to stop. Slowly, she stepped forward. "Ember," she whispered, her voice cracked with emotion. "Is it truly you?" Tears welled in Ember's eyes. He couldn't speak. He only nodded, and then he ran, through the snow, through the years of silence, through the ache of missing. She met him halfway, nuzzling his face, his neck, his shoulders, as if to make sure he was real. The kits bounded over, sniffing curiously, then yipping with joy when Ember licked their ears. That night, beneath a sky blazing with stars, the family huddled in the den. The vixen sang the lullaby, the one Ember had carried in his heart. The kits slept curled against him, and for the first time in so long, Ember felt warmth not just from the fire of his fur, but from the fire of belonging. The journey had been long, the path dark and winding, but love, like the northern star, never fades. It waits, it calls, and sometimes, if you listen with your heart, it leads you home.